3 Great Taste Star rated coffees, all ground and ready to brew. A 1-star Great Taste winner, rated Simply Delicious. A 2-star Outstanding. And a 3-star Truly Exquisite. Plus 1 unawarded Dark Horse. No Great Taste Stars at all. But which one truly earns its place in your cup? Welcome to Great Taste Ed Reviews, where I taste award-winning food and drink and ask whether these great taste stars really deserve the hype. Episode 17. Coffee. Let's rate the ratings. This 1-star coffee received its Great Taste Award in 2024. It's from Löfbergs, a Swedish roaster known for its sustainability focus. This is a Brazil single-origin coffee typically associated with smooth, nutty, chocolate-led flavor profiles designed for easy, everyday drinking. Reviewers often praise this product's smooth, chocolatey profile and low acidity, but some say it can taste a bit muted compared to fresher or more complex coffees. Let's see. This is a medium dark roast that promises to deliver a smooth, creamy body highlighted with sweet milk chocolate and hazelnut notes, mellow and low in acidity when served black. Out of the bag, pretty subtle. Cocoa powder, a bit of roasted nuts, maybe a slight cereal note. The manufacturer recommends a total steep time of 4 minutes, adding water that's just off the boil. So that's exactly what I'll do. On the brew, still quite mellow. Light milk chocolate, maybe a bit of hazelnut, nothing too expressive. That's a very smooth coffee, mild cocoa, bit of nuttiness, but nothing too expressive. I think this is a classic easy cup coffee. Nothing aggressive, nothing too challenging. That said, the aftertaste is ever so slightly bitter, which you don't expect from a medium dark roast. However, a splash of milk would help to reduce the sharpness. Did it deserve its 1 Great Taste Star? Well, I think it's okay. It's balanced and drinkable, but it's not especially distinctive. It's not a coffee that I would keep coming back to, so for that reason, I wouldn't have given this a 1-star award. I paid £5.50 for 250 grams from Sainsbury's, which I think is quite reasonable for a single origin coffee. It's actually only slightly above the average price for unawarded coffees on the supermarket shelves. But as I've said, for me, this is not a great tasting coffee. So my value for money score would have to be a 3 out of 5. This coffee was awarded 2 Great Taste Stars in 2021. It's a decaffeinated blend from Taylor's of Harrogate. Decaf coffees are often harder to execute well, so a 2-star rating suggests strong flavour despite the caffeine removal process. Many reviewers say this product is smooth, balanced, and surprisingly close to regular coffee, but some still notice a slight flatness or reduced depth compared to caffeinated options. Let's see. This medium dark roast promises a sophisticated balance of smooth caramel and rich malty notes, bold and satisfying without being overpowering when enjoyed black. Decaf can sometimes taste a bit muted, so I'm looking and hoping for body and flavour here. The dry aroma is actually quite reassuring here. Soft chocolate, a bit of nuttiness. It doesn't smell flat. With the Cafetiere, Taylor's recommendation is to add coffee and water just off the boil, stir, let it steep for 4 minutes, then plunge. Here we go again. On the brew, it's a nice smell. Cocoa, light caramel, slight roasted sweetness. It's closer to regular coffee than I expected. That's actually very impressive. Rich, slightly nutty, a bit of cocoa, and it doesn't feel thin or lacking. This is very drinkable, especially for after dinner drinking or for anyone who might be avoiding caffeine. Did it deserve its 2 great taste stars? For a decaf, this has real flavour and balance, which isn't easy to pull off. If I didn't know, I'd think this were a regular caffeinated coffee. So for that reason, a well-deserving 2-star standout. This cost me £4.98 from Asda, which is slightly pricey, but fair for a high-quality decaf. And sometimes decaf coffees are priced higher than their caffeinated equivalents because they require more processing time to remove the caffeine while also preserving the flavour. So I think this represents excellent value for money. So it's a 4.5 out of 5 score from me.
This 3-star coffee received its Great Taste Award in 2024. It's from Dark Woods, a UK speciality roaster. Black Hill is a bold, full-bodied blend designed to showcase depth, intensity and layered flavour. 3 stars indicate exceptional quality.
Coffee drinkers often highlight this product's rich chocolatey depth and bold character, but some find it a bit intense or heavy if they prefer lighter, fruitier coffees. Let's see. This 3-star winner is classified as a dark roast coffee, so I want a bold, full-bodied experience. Intense notes of dark chocolate and toasted nuts, and a deep, long-lasting finish with very low acidity. Wow. Straight away, a much more intense, dry aroma. Dark chocolate, deep roast, almost a hint of spice in there. The standard recommendation by the manufacturer is 4 minutes. After 4 minutes, I'm to stir the crust and let it sit for another 1 to 2 minutes to allow the sediment to settle for a much cleaner cup. So that's what I'll do. On the brew, that really opens up. Rich dark chocolate, toasted nuts, a little bit of smokiness as well. I think this would make an excellent espresso. Its much bolder dark roast flavour would be better able to withstand the pressure from the hot water of an espresso machine. But are its 3 truly exquisite great taste stars justified? For me, yes. This coffee has depth, character and a real sense of craft. And I think the truest indicator of a high quality coffee is the aftertaste. It needs to have a clean, bitter-free, long-lasting flavour, which this has. It is great. At £12.50 for 250 grams, this is very, very expensive. I also bought it from the Dark Woods website, so there are shipping costs on top of that. Even for a 3-star speciality coffee, I'm not sure I'm convinced that the price is in line with expectations. I'm giving this a 3 out of 5 value for money score. It's a treat for many, not an everyday buy.
This is Costa's Mocha Italia signature blend, designed to recreate their classic coffee shop flavour at home. It's a mass-market blend focused on consistency and strength. It has not received a Great Taste Award.
Some reviewers enjoy this product's smooth, familiar coffee shop flavour, but others find it slightly bitter and lacking complexity compared to specialty coffees. Let's see. This medium roast coffee by Costa promises to deliver a balanced and velvety smooth profile defined by caramel and roasted nut notes, providing a clean finish with no bitterness when taken black. Quite strong on the nose, dark roast, a little bit ashy. Costa officially recommends brewing for between 3 and 5 minutes, so I guess I'll go for 4 minutes again. On the brew, a very familiar coffee shop smell coming through. Roasty, slightly bitter, not much sweetness though. Yeah, strong dark roast, slightly bitter edge. It's more about strength than nuance, I think. It's all right. Should this have received a Great Taste Award? For me, it's a no. It's certainly not in the same league as the previous 2 coffees I've reviewed today. It is serviceable, but I think it's lacking the complexity that the Great Taste Awards recognise. And using a Cafetiere delivers a much thinner, less punchy brew than the commercial machines used by Costa in their shops. It's missing that golden foam and syrupy mouthfeel that we all like, that I think you only get from the freshly ground bean and from the high pressure from the machines in the Costa shops. I paid £4.95 for 200 grams from Sainsbury's, which I think is a touch pricier than it's worth. It's a decent enough ground coffee for everyday use, but it's nothing special in my opinion. So for that reason, my value for money score is a 3 out of 5. After having tasted all 4 coffees, taking into consideration both flavour and value, one of them ended up stealing the show. My pick today is the 2-star Tailors of Harrogate Decaf Roast Ground Coffee. For a decaf, this was seriously impressive. Smooth, rich, balanced, and surprisingly full of flavour, without that muted finish decaf can sometimes have. It won't give you that morning caffeine kick, but if you love a coffee after dinner and don't want to compromise on sleep, this is an excellent option. If you enjoyed this, like, subscribe, and comment below. What category should I rate next? More flavour, more value, more stars next time. Let's rate the ratings.